does alpha mean to you? And why are you creating this brand all around being alpha?
An alpha is a character. Like I always say, you can take anything from me materialistic. Let's put it in the way. Andrew Tate is a strong personal brand, kinda, okay? An alpha in a form. They took away from him everything, am I correct? The guy went back as if nothing happened. These are alphas. I'll bring back whatever you take from me because it's built in me. It's not about the things outside of me. I believe that the society where we live in now makes us weaker. You're always looking for the easy way out, the easy gains, the fast gains. I don't want to say really people or men or women, they're becoming weaker mentally, physically, and spiritual. When we keep ourselves diluted with all the things happening around us, we get weaker. Success or being successful or being an alpha, it's not rocket science. You need to do the work. You need to be consistent. You need to be disciplined. Nothing comes while you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Relentless Goal Achievers podcast. I'm so excited to be here today with my guest all the way from Dubai, Seif El Hakim, known as the Alpha. If you don't know this guy, just go to Instagram. You're missing out because he's got over 2 million followers on Instagram. He is an internationally acclaimed businessman, serial entrepreneur, and the founder of the Global Alpha Movement. But before all that, he was the CMO, you're not going to guess this, in Moscow, Russia for the one and only Samsung. Holy crap, man. What a resume. Seif, welcome to the show.
Thank you, brother. It's an honor to be with you today. Thank you for the lovely introduction and really looking forward for the talk.
Yeah, me too, man. So help me understand. Typically I go back and start with the history and, we'll get to that. But what does alpha mean to you? And why are you creating this brand all around being alpha?
Early times, like alpha is like, as we know, alpha is the first letter in the Greek alphabet, right? So alpha is a leader. And if we go back in time, it's been always known for being the arrogant, the person who's aggressive, the person who has the controlling behavior, the egocentric, the bully, all these. But in modern times, these characteristics and traits actually evolved. So from my standpoint, and that's how I represent, I would say, the alpha, there are modern traits of an alpha. So what's the modern traits of an alpha? It's the person who faces challenges on like face to face. He takes tough decisions. He's actually humble. He's fiercely determined. He's super goal-oriented. He's a leader. He's physically, mentally, spiritually strong. And I would say an honest and upfront. And one more important trait, it is that the person who manages his emotions very well. And again, the last one, which I usually love to say, is the person who impacts and has influence in the community where he lives. That's the modern traits of an alpha. And that's why I push so hard for this brand. I push so hard. We all need to be alphas. We all need to be leaders. Enough being a follower.
When you say that, are you mainly picturing men or are you talking to both men and women?
Women as well, alpha woman. Saying these all characteristics or traits of an alpha, it fits a man and it fits a woman.
Yeah, when I think alpha, it's automatically, I'm thinking like the dominant, the strong, but the way you described it, it doesn't always have to be that way, right? I mean, yeah, we got to be able to be both.
Exactly. And you need to be tough sometimes to move things around. You need to be tough. But the general traits of modern alpha is the ones that I said, and it's the one that I really believe in. And that's what I want to convey to everyone who's listening to us now. It's not the person who's bully, it's the person just aggressive out of nowhere. You can be aggressive, but for a particular cause.
So how does someone know if becoming an alpha or transforming into an alpha would benefit their life better? Like, what are the traits they have now that are not alpha traits?
Taking responsibility of everything around you, it's the first trait of being an alpha. We live in a world that you just throw excuses around. You understand? Like before we start, you said the computer is restarting. But right away you said, hey, let's have a chat. It's like, oh shit, the computer let's talk in 10, 15 minutes afterwards. No, I take the responsibilities of things around me, taking responsibility of myself, taking responsibility of my life, taking responsibility of the people around me, the beloved ones. As soon as you start by taking this, everything is you, then I would say that's the first state of being an alpha.
That's a far thing to get people to accept. I totally get it. By the way, it's so freeing. Once we start taking responsibility for everything around us, then everything is in our control. We can control any situation. I couldn't agree with you more. Absolutely love that philosophy.
One more thing. We live in an era of social media, right?
Yeah.
The easiest way for us is to look at others' people's profile and give excuses to ourselves. right? His family gave them this, whatever. Her husband gave her this. Man, you know nothing. You really, that's just a curtain in front of you. Just take care of yourself, build yourself. And again, an alpha is a character. Like I always say, you can take anything from me materialistic, I'll bring it back. Because I build this character in me, I build this attitude and behaviors in me. Like one of the strongest, let's put it in the way, Andrew Tate is a strong personal brand, kinda, okay? An alpha in a form. They took away from him everything, am I correct?
In Romania,
Then he
yeah.
exactly, took everything. The guy went back as if nothing happened. These are alphas. I'll bring back whatever you take from me because it's built in me. It's not about the things outside of me.
Man, I love it. So why do you think so many people are not that?
That's a lovely question. I don't want to say it this way, but I believe that the society where we live in now makes us weaker. Weaker. You're always looking for the easy way out, the easy gains, the fast gains. It becomes a habit in us. Like, okay, let's do the crypto trade and we become millionaires tomorrow.
I
shit, it doesn't happen this way. Oh shit, doesn't happen this way. So I don't want to say really people or men or women, they're becoming weaker mentally, physically, and spiritual. And that's because of the things happening around us. When we keep ourselves diluted with all the things happening around us, we get weaker. We have a saying like, pick up your socks, do the things. Success or being successful or being an alpha, it's not rocket science. You need to do the work. You need to be consistent. You need to be disciplined. Nothing comes while you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix. Am I correct? Nothing comes.
100%. Yeah, no doubt, man. All right. So talk to me about how you grew up. You mentioned to me you're Egyptian.
Yeah. I grew up in Egypt.
So you actually grew up in Egypt, not had Egyptian parents and grew up somewhere else.
No. Egyptian. I'm Egyptian by roots. So I grew up in Egypt, stayed in Egypt till after university 1 year. Then I flew out of Egypt. But again, that's one thing that is important to share with people is I was living in Egypt a very comfortable life, which means in my comfort zone, my family, my friends, my job. I was not an A student by nature. I'm not a person who studies. There are a couple of, I would say, challenging moments in my life that completely changed my life. One thing is I used to be a sports person. I was the Kung Fu national team. I cared nothing about studying, absolutely nothing. And I had a cousin my age, okay? So I used to study with her before the exams, just to let me pass, this tricks. So, and I had an aunt one time, she's my second mother. One time she came and said, like, why are you studying with this idiot?
Oh, she said that you were the idiot?
Yes, I was the idiot at that time.
Got it. I thought she meant her daughter.
But I'll tell you something. From that moment, I completely changed. I really locked myself up. I stopped doing my sports. I stopped doing the Kung Fu. And I really focused on my studies. I graduated with honors and then I became an engineer, which is a tough thing to become an engineer in Egypt. And then I came back to my comfort zone. I started to work in a telecom operator. I didn't want to go. I had my life, I would say, set, but in a comfort zone, not a career trajectory, a crazy one. And then came the moment, there was a program Samsung is running called Global Leadership Program, where they go across the world, they collect the global leaders that they want them to lead the company in different countries. So they take them for a scholarship, they work in the headquarters, and. One of my friends tell me, Seif, go, try it. I said, no, I'm happy where I am. He said, just go and try. And I went, and during the interview, it's a panel interview. So I'm from Egypt, so the African continent. So there were people from Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, like all the African continent countries. And I was a person working. I was working in a company. So I was looking at the lady and I was telling her, when can I leave? Because I need to go back to my job. So the lady looked at me and said, Seif, where are you from? So I said, I'm from Egypt. And she said, like, Seif, you can go now. Anyways, Egyptians are lazy. You will lose. Man, the level of humiliation that you feel, and you're sitting around you like 6, 7, 8 people that you actually don't know. I was shocked. I kept looking around me like, did I hear correctly or like? And I made a deal with her. I couldn't resist not to respond. I said, look, okay, I remember her name even. So she said, like, I said, like, if I win, you resign. And if I lose, you already humiliated me. You got what you want. And I did everything possible to win. And I actually won, and I went to South Korea, and that was never in my plan. Never. And I didn't want to win. I didn't want, but I have these kind of things because I'm an athlete. When somebody comes and challenge, the internal response is always like, watch me, see what's coming next. And then I started my corporate career with Samsung, moved to South Korea, where I stayed there for almost 5 years. And from South Korea, they moved me to Russia, where I stayed there over 10 years. And then I moved to Turkey, then Dubai, and. But a very interesting moment that happened to me in South Korea, which I love to share with people. I was a superstar in headquarters. Everybody in Samsung headquarters knew who is Seif. So when HR called me, said, like, Seif, you need to go back to Egypt to work in Samsung office in Egypt. So I went to HR. I said, no, I'm not going back to Egypt. I'm now an international staff. I want to stay in headquarters. I don't want to go back. And the guy looked at me and said, like, whispered in my ears and said, Seif, put your ego down a little bit. I can replace you with a chair in 2 seconds. Empty chair in 2 seconds. Man, this statement lives with me till now. Like, everything that I try to do, in everything that I do, whatever it's business, relationships, whatever, that it's hard to be replaced. When I talk about personal development, I always keep up to date with my development. I want to be top of my game. It really changed my life. And that's a very important lesson that I learned in my time with Samsung in headquarters. And then I moved to Russia, and my whole journey with Samsung stayed till the end, like 10 years in Russia, until I reached the CMO level position. And then I started my own business afterwards.
Man, what a journey, dude. So did that woman ever resign?
She did. And by the way, we're in touch till now.
No way. That's
I
really
swear
cool.
to God.
What country was that in, the interview?
Egypt, Cairo.
Oh, so you were actually in Egypt. So she's in Egypt saying Egyptians are lazy.
Exactly. She's Korean, and she said that.
She was Korean. Man, you guys have a whole different way of doing business over there.
Different thing, yeah.
In the US, you can't say stuff like that, man. They got all kinds of laws.
True.
That is freaking awesome. All right. There's something I got to challenge you on, Seif. And you're an alpha, so you like to be challenged.
Yeah.
So we started the conversation. I asked you, what does alpha mean? You said an alpha is always in control of her situation. And one of the things that stood out, you said always controls their emotions.
Yeah.
And then you said this woman said something to you, and you're like, you had to come back to her, right? You had to go now and challenge that. Was that you in control? Like, or maybe you weren't an alpha at that point. Did you consider yourself an alpha at that? Would an alpha do that? Like, would an alpha care that the woman made a comment?
It's not about the comment, or it's a male or a female. I love the question, actually. It's not about it's a male or a female saying this comment.
Sure.
The first thing that you operate from is your self-belief, what you believe in yourself, and you respect yourself. So if somebody destroyed this in me, I can't operate as an alpha.
But how can somebody destroy that in you?
If you humiliate me in public, you cross the line.
Got it.
And I took it as a what? As a challenge. So let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. If I win, you said we're lazy, right? Absolutely, keep it as you said. But if you lose, can you keep your words that you will resign? It's a challenge. That's an attitude that I operate from. And I believe that's an alpha. It's a watch me thing. Don't ever think that you will break my belief in myself, my capabilities, my abilities. And that's how we operate. That's how I win every day is by the wins that I get every single day. You rack the wins. You were with Brad Leah. You rack the wins every day. You can't have somebody to break this in you. And it's not correct. You cannot say something wrong to me. If you said something which is a positive feedback, I'll listen to you. But if in a humiliation standpoint, you cross the line. And you're crossing the line with an alpha, unfortunately.
I got you. You're not gonna have that line crossed.
What to do?
Oh man, I like it. You're awesome, dude. So all right, so tell me about, I mean, there's so much cultural kind of unknown for me. By the way, just so you understand, I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps. One of the most challenging things that I had to do, and this is, I'm telling you, 6-7 months in Afghanistan, another 6-7 months in Iraq. And at the age of 25 years old, I end up in Guantanamo Bay, where we kept the detainees. The reason why I ended up there was because we had Arabic, Farsi, Pashto linguists that were civilians. I speak Russian fluently, so people that came over to Afghanistan from Uzbekistan, they were part of the Islamic movement of Uzbekistan, got caught in Afghanistan. If you had a Farsi or a Pashto linguist, they would start speaking Russian. And so one of the things I did was I came in to help different agencies with interrogations, and I also managed the civilian linguists. And so the civilian linguists that we had were all from different territories of Afghanistan and all from different territories of Iraq. And they hated each other. I have never seen, like, it was such a rude awakening for me as a young leader in that space to see the cultural differences and how much hate or like people have for one another just based on where they're from and their belief system, right?
True.
So you grew up in Egypt. I mean, how culturally, that's like the way I see it. Men are dominant, right? Women are submissive. And then you get out into the world. Now you're traveling globally everywhere. How did you form new beliefs, or what beliefs did you have? And are they still legit today?
That's a lovely question. But I'll start like Egypt. I would say it's not a hardcore, I would say Arab culture. Okay. But of course, man is dominant. That's 100%. And my first trip outside to live abroad, it was hard. Because, a lot of cultural differences, but the only thing that I even noticed in myself, that I'm adaptable. Which means, and that's good even throughout my career, whatever place that I'm placed in, I take my time to adapt to where I am. If it's 100% against my core, I would say core beliefs, I can't help it. You understand?
Like what would be something that's against your core beliefs in the culture?
I would say, let's put it one thing, a betrayal.
Okay.
Suicides. A person thinking is like, it's against my religion, against my belief. You understand? Like, these are like a couple of things. Unless it is not a super core belief, I'm able to look at myself in the mirror and challenge this belief. Is it really making me better or not? And then I take it from there. Besides, if it's not a core belief. But 100%, I had a lot of absolutely cultural differences. Even how the man react, how the woman reacts, how they dress up, how they interact together, all these small things, but these are adaptable things.
Yeah.
Like for me, I come from a culture, a man is a man. You understand what I'm saying? You're a Marine guy. A man is a man.
I know exactly what you mean, but nowadays, a man
is a man.
Can't even identify what that means.
Exactly. So I come from this culture. So there are some things you can adapt to it, and some things you just, if it's not affecting me, if it's not hurting me as safe, I just ignore it. And if it's just simple thing, I adapt. I want to evolve as well. At the end, I'm human. I want to develop.
Yeah.
I want to evolve. It's something that will help me evolve. I'm with it.
I love it, man. So you've established these values of what an alpha means to you, which I really like what you said that means. And now it seems like you're living into that vision every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you. You show up that way.
True.
That's your persona. Okay. Got it. And so how do you help others, one, understand that becoming an alpha is probably going to be better for your life with your goal achievements, with your success, who aren't aware of that yet?
I do a lot of, I would say, I don't say even coaching or whatever it is, but I do a lot of public speaking. I go teach in the universities. I do group coaching, even unpaid. I want to spread this thing because what I see, and it's really irritating me, and that's why I came up with the Alpha movement. I want to challenge this thing. I want to make everyone know, man, I come from Egypt, okay? And I grew to here. Everything is possible. You just need to change your mindset and you need to have a mentor. And I'm trying to be a mentor for as much as people as I can. And that means I'm putting the energy, putting the time, putting the effort, even putting the money to make this happen. So you tell me why, Seif, you're doing this. I'll tell you why. Because when I moved from Samsung, South Korea to Russia, I was lost. Literally speaking, I was absolutely lost and smashed at the same time. I was, as I remember, I'm a person coming with an MBA from even MIT, okay? And a person coming, an MBA from MIT, being working in headquarters for 5 years and going to Russia. And then the first task for me, assignment, go change the color of a PPT graph. Man, I was smashed. At that time, I had a mentor, a person that saw something in me. And he coached me and mentored me until I reached the CMO level. And how it absolutely changed my life. Man, without him, I could have quit. But somebody is showing you, you can do this. Try this. I've been in your path before. So that's why I saw it. And I want everybody that I get in touch with to feel the same. That's why I have my courses. I have my speaking engagement. I do absolutely teach in the American University, absolutely free of charge. I need to help as much as people as possible to really realize their potential.
Yeah. So I got a few questions out of that.
Mhm.
One is you being in Dubai, where, like you said, I come from a place where a man is a man. I'm assuming most of the folks in Dubai come from a place where a man is a man.
You know, the best thing about Dubai is what? Is super multicultural.
Yes.
Absolutely multicultural. You can't be sitting in one meeting, you have the same nationality duplicated.
Wow.
So you can be sitting 6-7 people, you have 6-7 nationalities different. So that's the only place. I've been over 50 countries. It's the only place that I live now where when I have meetings, we're all different.
That's pretty cool.
And we're all accepting each other 100%.
Yeah. How do you stand out in an environment like that?
Ooh. Okay. One of the things that I believe in is how you, I would say, build your personal brand and you build your influence. And I've been working on my personal brand and influence for a very long time. So I would say I'm a well-known person in the market. Yes, I'm putting the effort, I'm giving value, I'm making an impact, but I've built it over years. So to stand out, and one thing I love about Dubai, it pushes you to par up. The competition everywhere is extremely fierce, extremely fierce. Service standards is super high. Competition is unbelievable everywhere. So it pushes me to jump up, par up. Before Dubai, I was living in Turkey. One of the things that made me leave Turkey is I felt that I am done with my comfort zone. I need to go to another place. I need to push myself further. Though Turkey was my hub, all the businesses was there, but I left it like this.
What businesses did you have in Turkey?
Hotels, restaurants, fitness clubs.
Still have them?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is it easy to open up over there?
You know, it's a family business, so it's rooted a long time ago.
Oh, it's family business. God, did you guys?
And now it's not that easy.
Okay.
Now it's not that easy as before.
Yeah. Did you have the family businesses in Egypt as well?
As well, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Got it. So what's your vision for this alpha movement?
Okay. My vision in the alpha move, first of all, now it start to get global traction. Till the end of this year, the goal to this year to get it really on a global scale. global scale, even in a way of collaborating with influential people from the globe, like yourself, other as well, to push kind of this movement across, to develop the people. Now, if I would say the alpha movement in a very nutshell, it's around a couple of principles or skills. It's entrepreneurship, personal branding, mindset, and business scaling. If you have these four, any person can skyrocket.
What was the last one? Business what?
Scaling.
Scaling. Okay.
Yeah. So these are the four elements that I work with. These are the four elements within the alpha movement. And I divide them into different pillars. So a lot of people can even gain access to it without even paying. It's without even paying. So I have the Alpha magazine, which is similar to Success magazine. It's a personal development magazine. We have the Alpha Talks podcast. We have the Alpha Vault, which is an online training platform. We have the Alpha Club, which is a community. It's an online and offline community where like-minded people get together, help each other. We have speakers and. And the last one, which is coming soon, is the Alpha Ventures, where we help entrepreneurs, startups on their journey. That's the overall Alpha movement.
Man, that's pretty awesome. And who are you targeting?
In general, aspiring entrepreneurs, but I don't want to put it in the terms of only entrepreneurs. Any person who wants to be outstanding, any person who don't like to be mediocre, any person who wants to be above average. These are all the personas that we're actually, I don't want to say targeting, or is part of our community. Average age is from 25 to 40.
Like if you had to put your CMO hat on, what type of things do you need to take into consideration when you're going global with your movement?
With the current thing is the perception of the name Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the big things I need to take into account, because, it has, I don't want to say it has a negative thing, but like culturally now, when you say an alpha, means you are like a person who kick ass. So you need to change this kind of perception. That's number one. Number two, when you go globally and you're coming out from, I would say it's originated or created in an Arab country, it has an implication. So you need to work on these two things. As a CMO, wearing the CMO hat, these are the two things, main things. The naming, the Alpha movement, you need to explain. And it's not a hard thing now these days with the social media all around, but it is a challenge. And the second thing, coming from an Arab country and you're naming yourself an Alpha. Man, what a combo.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, coming from an Arabic country, I'm an alpha. Yeah, no shit.
Exactly. What a combo.
Tell us something we don't know. Well, what kind of car are you in? Usually I see you, I see some of your videos, you're in a car, it's got like tan leather seats, looks like a two-seater, I think.
Yeah, it's a Corvette.
Oh, it's a Vet. Okay.
Corvette, yeah, it's a Corvette. Yeah.
Got it.
Stingray. I'm a Stingray guy.
Yeah. You like that American. Well, that's like as alpha as it gets, that American muscle.
Exactly. Exactly.
Lions not sheep is another movement. I think that you're gonna have. I don't see you having any problems, because I feel like right now men need that. Men have been demasculated. Men have been, and I know your movement is not just towards men, but to me, I know exactly what you mean when you say I'm a man. Like, I remember being a little kid, and my mom was, as a single mom, would say, men hold the door for women. You got to open the door to the car for a woman. You don't eat first. Make sure your sister eats first.
True.
Make sure that if you're out and you're buying stuff, you're thinking about somebody else first. Those are the things that are ingrained as a man. That's what I feel like a man is. Nowadays, it's like, you got guys arguing, if Titanic is going down, do you let women and children off first, or the men go first? Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
I remember the times when I was a kid and I used to travel with my mother and grandmother. They were sitting in front of the car and I was in the back seat. I was really a kid. And we're going to like a holiday, driving a car, like to a resort. And then I remember sometimes I want to fall asleep. I fall asleep. And I remember my mother and grandmother looking at me like, Seif, you are the man of the family. Wake up. Even when I was a kid, man. We have this inside of us. And it's really pity to see that all these values and traits are broken.
Yeah.
And one thing, because sometimes women get disbalanced when we say the alpha. No, a woman needs to be an alpha outside of home. When you're running a business, when you're running a career, and you have this, you need to be alpha there. But when you're at home, the alpha is the man. You need to have the feminine side.
Yeah.
So it's not a man and a female thing. So an alpha, it's a character, it's an attributes, it is how you act outside.
How did this hit you? Like, what was happening in your life where you said, this is the movement that I got to take on?
It's actually happened during COVID. You know, I'm always a workaholic. Okay, so before COVID, we were actually majority of the time offline. When COVID hit, you became sitting at home. You're looking only on screens, and you start to notice some things. You understand, like I don't want to say all the bull happening around you, and you hear the feedback and you read the comments, and it's hitting me like, guys, life is simple, but it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
You complicate it, but it's not easy. You understand?
Oh, yeah.
So that's the whole thing. And I see people around me. I see my friends. I see, let's do crypto. Crypto, okay, we will do crypto, but that's not an overnight thing. Let's, you see, buy the $200 course, you'll become a millionaire in a week. Man, it doesn't work this way. And you're always comparing. You see this person, man, your journey is different. Focus on yourself. And from this whole thing, this whole movement came up. Plus, the name is absolutely sexy.
It is. It's a nice name, man.
Yeah. True. We have to say. We have to
right.
like not the name.
So we got entrepreneurs listening to us who might not be as successful as you at building the brand. Like, what advice do you have for people who are just starting out? They got a good vision, got a strong idea. They're hard workers. How do they get on a map? How do they get their potential clients to notice that they exist?
I come from a marketing background, right?
Yep.
And I have seen how marketing evolved over the years. The only thing that I would tell them to do is to really build their personal brand. You're going into an era now where nobody cares about the company, nobody cares about the logo, nobody cares about the ad copy. They care about the person who they resonate with. So they need to focus on building their brand, their personal brand. And we can talk a couple of hours on like personal branding and so on and so forth. But as a quick example so people can resonate. Tesla is almost a 10 years company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus Ford, which was established in the early 1900s. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Both of them, the market valuation is almost the same. Okay. That is why. That's because Elon Musk, personal brand. Is he perfect? No. But at the end, he's a human. He appears to you. He's honest. He has his flaws as any person, but he's a hero for some people. And people resonate with people. And that's the power of personal brand.
Yeah,
and
but we didn't know about Musk, and Musk wasn't very vocal, right?
Yeah.
When he was first starting, what was the payroll? It was
PayPal.
Yeah. He started PayPal, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knew who Elon Musk was until Tesla came out. And then as that grew and he had some really cool products. So I don't think he built his personal brand first. I think he built the company first.
No, hold on. He appeared after PayPal. And then his personal brand started to skyrocket.
Okay.
I love this guy, but this guy, a tweet from him can change the economy of countries. A tweet from him can put crypto upside down.
Yeah.
That's the power.
Yeah.
And look at Richard Branson. Look at Jeff Bezos. Look at Tim Cook or Steve Jobs. Man, their following is much bigger than their company following. People these days, Gen Zs, millennials going forward, they resonate with people rather than they resonate with companies.
Yeah.
So that's why highly recommend people to start to build their personal brand. And there is a framework, there are a lot of articles around the world you can find out, but focus on building your personal brand.
So if somebody comes to you for coaching or guidance, what are the first 3-4 things you tell them to go do?
First of all, 100% everything with as humans, we work on the mindset. You need to work on your mindset and your limiting beliefs and. Then the second thing is to start to build your personal brand. And the personal brand with you starts with your story, your values, and as well.
What do they do? They just get on video and start talking about their life?
First of all, you need to know what you want to be known for, what message you want to get across, what type of audience you want to attract. Okay. A lot of people tell me, I don't know what values, what unique propositions do I have? I give a very nice analogy. Every one of us sits on a mountain or stands on a mountain of values, right? But as humans, when you stand over a mountain, you can't see the mountain, right? But the person in front of you can see this value of mountains. So that's why I always say, get a coach for this, get a mentor for this, to extract the values that you have. And you work on a framework to get who you are, what values, what message, what audience, what's your objective at the end. Your objective with your personal brand is different than my objective in personal brand, different. What do you want to achieve with your personal brand? Once you get this, whatever you want to achieve, when I gave you the example of an alpha, one of the part of the alpha is the personal branding. So when I say, like, if anybody strip away from me my assets, my companies, I can bring them back because I have these things built in me. We gave the example of Tate. That's the power of build your personal brand. Then we go through the basics, I would say, the fundamentals of entrepreneurship. Everybody wants to do a business, either if you're inside of a company or outside of a company. You want to do your own thing. We're in the 2024. The number of entrepreneurs are skyrocketing. If you talk about entrepreneurs back when we are in university or school, do you remember what people used to tell us? What entrepreneur means? You're jobless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now an entrepreneur, wow, you're building a tech company. Huh? It's absolutely different. So you need to build these skill sets. So again, I'm stressing on the personal brand. And there's a very nice analogy of personal brand. That is the only legal monopoly available on earth. So the government can take your company, the competitor can smash your company, but nobody can take your personal brand. That's the only legal monopoly you have.
How do you know if you're doing it right?
Like any type of business, you have KPIs to it. Okay. When your personal brand is very strong, one of the main things that you will find, just top of mind, you get the opportunities first, the best opportunities first. Because the people who are influential, who has very strong personal brand, the opportunities pass by them first. They take the best of the opportunities, and the rest, the 90% of the people, take the leftovers. So you attract the opportunities. You're always called for networking events, speaking engagements, gatherings. And then there are the regular KPIs, which your kind of engagements, how real people follow you, real people listen to you, real people engage with you. These are all things a determinant for your personal brand. KPIs, as it's totally business, your KPIs for your personal brand.
Yeah. Wow. That's a really good point. I like how you simplified that. I typically tell people, the people that you're trying to help and attract are you from 5 years ago. So think about the 100%. Things you used to think about the things you would stay up at night Googling and trying to figure out that you really know now, and go help with that.
True. And it's correct, actually, because you're an expert in this because you passed this. You know what the problem is now? What I see, that a person took a course, read a book, and he says he's an expert in it. You understand? Like, I see your book, the B2B sales. Somebody will read it and will start to say, I'm a guru in B2B sales. Man, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes years to be an expert in something. So the best thing is you pass through a dip, which is 5 years ago, And that's the thing that you can coach people, help people to overcome.
Yeah. Saif, tell me about your daily or morning routine. Like, what do you do to keep your mindset in this intense alpha state?
Okay, I wake up early, like 6, 7. Usually that's 6, 7. First of all, I have my an hour and a half, 2 hours personal development. I do nothing except develop myself in whatever areas that I want to develop myself in. Then I do my sports. I have to do my sports. I have to be, I take sports as something to remove my stress, push my creativity, and make me able to, I would say, conquer my day. So personal development, sports, and then I kill the most important 2, 3 tasks of the day. That's hit till 12 o'clock. Then after 12 o'clock, I have my meetings. I have like my team meetings, external meetings, networking, whatever it is. So my day, if I summarize it, it's from 6 to 12. The most efficient thing, the most productive.
How do you plan what you're going to work on? Like when do you plan and get it on your calendar?
I love that. I do 2 things, like the day before planning, of course, and I do Sundays, the weekly plan.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very similar.
On Sunday, I plan the whole week, and every day, the day before.
Nice. What are you working on now when you wake up in the mornings?
Ooh. I love now personal branding, so I'm getting it into more super deep and super professional.
What does that mean? Like,
I mean, like high ticket courses, kind of, I would say, university degrees with it. I still love the regular education.
Yeah,
I feel it plays an important role if you put it correctly.
Yeah, but I meant like when you said when I first wake up, first 2 hours is personal growth time. Like, what are you working on in those 2?
Yeah, personal development overall.
Yeah.
No, personal branding. I'm sorry, personal branding.
Personal branding overall.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is there any courses you're taking right now, or like what did you do this morning?
I'm doing a course from actually MIT.
Okay. Yeah. I love it. What about like meditation, visualization, journaling, praying? What do you do in that realm? Like, what do you believe about the spiritual and the physical realm? You know what I mean?
That's a very interesting question, and I have to answer it very honestly. My meditation and spiritual is sitting in silence. If I look at the ceiling, I need my me time, but it's not in listening to some affirmations, listening to somebody guiding me, a guided meditation or whatever it is. I sit silently to think or not to think. But going through a guided meditation, I tried it, didn't work with me. I tried even yoga, didn't work with me. So these things, it's a type of personality, I believe.
Yeah.
But I have my rituals, let's put it this way.
Yeah, I'm curious about those.
Yeah, these ones, like I sit, like I have easily 10 minutes in the morning that I sit in silence.
All right, so you're sitting there silently in the dark or light, doesn't matter?
No, light, and honestly looking at the sky.
You're looking at the sky, okay, and a thought pops in.
Yeah.
What do you do with that thought?
I let it float. I let it float for 10 minutes. Whatever comes into my head for 10 minutes, I let everything float.
Float out of your head? You're not focusing?
In and out.
Okay.
Absolutely no focus. And then I finish and I have my coffee.
Okay,
I have my coffee.
Okay. This is so huge. This is so freaking huge, man.
Yeah.
You're sitting there in silence. A thought comes in. How do you let it float?
I just don't think about it. When you have when you're thinking, like when I'm sitting, I'm thinking and I get a thought. Then I hold on it and I try to analyze it. I don't do this. I just like sit, look at the sky and like come in, come out. It doesn't matter at all. I try to free float.
But there's no command, like don't think about it.
There is no. And I don't try to hold anything nor analyze anything because I'm a very analytical person.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer by education. Very analytical. I try to let things float.
Just float in like cloud. I was listening to somebody's meditation and it was guided. And that's what they said. It's like anything comes in, just look at it as a cloud passing by. But I feel like if people can just sit in silence, man, but why? What are you hoping to get out of that silence?
I would say calming myself. You know, we're living in a very dynamic world. You have a lot on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
When we're moving from task to task, task to task, task to task. Sometimes you need this 10 minutes. Sometimes I need a 10 minutes walk when nobody talks to me. It is similar, but I do it by walking. But you know, the most important thing out of this 10 minutes is the 5 minutes after. I have a small notebook. After I finish this 10 minutes, whatever sticks to my mind, I write it down. It could be an idea. It could be a solution to a problem that it's in my subconscious killing me. And this red notebook is always with me. And honestly, it's filled with treasures.
Man, I gotta,
a big one, I see.
yeah.
I see.
It's filled with treasures.
Treasures, I swear, treasures. But
And
you do meditation?
Huh?
You do meditation?
Yeah, not every day, and most of it is guided. Now instead, I started writing out kind of my future vision as if it's happening now.
Yeah.
And that's my form of meditation. I just think into what is it that I'm creating? What does it look like once it's here? I feel like if I could see it here and I can write it, it already exists.
True.
Yeah, man, that is really cool. Do you do any, so you have the notebook, you journal some of the ideas and thoughts. What's your process for going back and reading through those ideas?
I do it once a week.
Okay.
On my Sundays.
Got it. On your Sunday list?
Yeah. I journal at night. Usually I journal every night.
How do you journal? Like what's the
wins, the lessons, the things that catch my attention. Like,
more reflective?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There are some news that pass throughout the day. You know, it's not important now, but you keep a register of it. The things that caught my attention, the wins, the losses, the challenges, what I missed.
Yeah.
Things that actually, one of the important things, that's things that made me happy.
Yeah. Stay in a state of gratitude when you focus on it. Okay. No, I love it. There's obviously so many different ways to journal. That's certainly one of them. I like to just either, hey, all the stuff I'm grateful for. If I feel like I'm down, sometimes you just have days where like you wake up and a client cancels and the meeting cancels and a fucking new bill comes in and you're like, God, man. So
enough.
Yeah, right away, I'm like, something inside of me kicks in. It's like, okay, I cannot go out into the world in this state. I got to raise my level of vibration. I got to raise my frequency. And right away, I do this rampage of gratitude, which is like, okay, what are all the things that are happening that are awesome in my life that I'm grateful for? And just that really quickly increases my, state of mind.
It's priming. You prime yourself.
Oh, there you go. I didn't even know I was priming myself.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Seif, what is it that I should have asked you that I have not asked you?
Ooh. I love this question. What do you regret?
What do you regret?
Not spending too much time with my family. I've been living abroad all my life, leaving my family from really 1 year after university till now. I go visit every now and then, but that's, I would say, the biggest regret that I have. But it's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And you can't succeed with those sacrifices.
Are you married, kids, anything like that?
I have a girlfriend, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome, man. Well, that's important. I guess spending time with your family. Listen, I want to thank you for hopping on, man. You've added so much value to us. Where can people find you? What's the best way somebody can connect with the Alpha movement?
Instagram, my Instagram account, or my website, like Instagram, Seif El Hakim, SEIFELHAKIM, or www.seifelhakim.com.
Okay. Man, I do want to know how you grew that Instagram account to 2 million followers. I'm stuck.
Man, we will do one collab.
All right. That sounds good. All right.
Sure, sure, sure.
Hey, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. Guys, if you're not a part of the Relentless Goal Achievers community on Facebook, go check it out. And be nice. Go connect with me on Instagram. I need more followers like Seif.
Pleasure, brother. I really enjoyed the talk.
Likewise, my friend.